guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Chic from Happiness and Crafting. So today I'm doing a little bit of mass making. I've got lots of scraps, as you know. I've got this lovely little box of scraps and I want to use them up. We've had a bit of a power cut today, so I was just sitting up here, you know, making little bits and pieces. So I thought I would just carry on because it's getting a little bit late now, so I'll just do a quick one. And I'm just making some page tabs, really simple, lovely page tabs. I have all sorts of different pieces of paper, mostly the ones which I've got, which I probably won't be able to find now, with a white background, because they're just going to be folded in half. And then with the bigger pieces I've been putting the tab on the top and making like a little, it's like a little tag with a pocket, which I just think will look really nice in any sort of journal. So I've just made 2 there, and I've made lots of little bits there. So I thought I would just carry on. A nice simple one for Monday, because we like to go into the week with a nice simple one. So I hope you guys have had a lovely weekend. I'm going to pop that just up there, and I'm going to go through that in a minute with and see what we've got in there. The punch I've got is the one from Journal Say, and I like the one which has got the little bumps like that. Can you see? This is the one I like, and I think that gives it a really nice. This is going to be quite a big one. The perfect sort of tab shape, isn't it? So you've got that nice tab shape, and that's all I'm doing. Oh, it's been great just to sit here with a no-brainer. I'm going to actually go this way and cut this one in 2. So I've just been sitting here punching. You know, one of those days when you know, it's quite a nice just to sort of, you know, do some punching. So that's what I thought I would do. Because yeah, we had a bit of a power cut. Oh, well, it wasn't a power cut. We had the power turned off because we were doing some bits and pieces downstairs. So I thought I would just see what I can do. So I did this. I'm supposed to tidy my room. I was supposed to be a good girl and tidy my room, but you know what it's like. You sit down at your desk and you think, oh, what can I play with? And that was what I was like doing. I don't want to tidy up. It would just get messy in 5 minutes anyway. So, you know, what's the point? I do have days when I think, oh, I do have a little bit of a tidy up now and again. And then it's like, you can't find anything, can you? I'm just going to straighten that up a minute. So I thought, oh, I'd rather tiddle about. So there we go. That's a nice sort of like deep one. So guys, what have you been up to? Have you been up to anything? You know how nosy I am. So, you know, anything to share with me? What have we been doing? What did we do over the weekend? We went out on Saturday evening for a lovely meal. So that was nice, in our favourite restaurant. But they have, there's a hotel sort of like just above it, because obviously we live in Albufeira. We live out just outside Albufeira. And it's a holiday destination, and we have a lot of stags and hens coming over here on holiday. And in the hotel sort of above our lovely restaurant that we go to, it was an evening where they were just having like a pool party. Oh my gosh, it sounded like we were in Ibiza on holiday. But it didn't last too long because it was sort of like an afternoon party. So it finished at 7 and we got there about 6 o'clock. But you know, you could hear everybody having fun. That's what people are on holiday for. I just pretended that I was quite trendy and on holiday in Ibiza. So sat there with my gin and tonic. I was quite happy. So you have to go with it sometimes, guys, don't you? Just go with it. Well, that's a bit folded. So what else did we do? Nothing really. What did I do yesterday? I did the garden. Oh, I sat out in the sun yesterday because it was really lovely. It's really lovely weather. It has been windy. I think I mentioned that on Saturday, didn't I? It was being windy. And we're supposed to have rain this weekend, which is not good. But look, see how simple this is. This is like a little, sort of like a no-brainer one, isn't it? We love these little no-brainer things. And all these little, tiny little bits are great. So you need a little itty-ditty bit. I tried it with other punches, which you can do. You can do with anything. I will show you. On your little roundy, it just obviously punches it a little bit different. It's just give that a funny little fold. Let's just straighten that up. And then this one, let's go in with, this just sort of rounds it off. Do you know what I mean? So you can have like a little rounded tab. So you can have them differently, but I like the tab looking tab. We don't want the double ones. I think I'm going to keep those little bits because I don't like the white backgrounds, as you all know. What else have I got to say? Oh yeah, I was thinking about doing or trying to do a retreat somewhere. And there's a lovely lady in America that has offered to help me. So I am really, really, very excited about that. Although it's quite, it's quite expensive for, obviously, Andy and myself to fly to America. So, it's one of those things that I would absolutely love to do, because I would love to sit in a room with you all, just chat and make stuff. Because I think that's, oh look, I've just cut that one in half. Oh, that's not going to work. I'll put those somewhere else. How exciting would that be? That would be just brilliant, wouldn't it? Because I don't really have anyone to craft with. Andy's good. I craft with Andy because he's so good. Well, we do the Friday Freebies together. But I would absolutely love to spend time with you guys. But it gets quite, I'll look into prices, and I don't want it to be sort of astronomically priced, because then it's just a waste. Well, not a waste, but people can't afford to have a really expensive retreat. It gets quite expensive, but whoopsie daisy. Let me know what you think. I did mention this on Saturday I was thinking about it. So have a think, because it would be something which I would love to do. You know what life's like. All these things I would like to do, but financially sometimes it's not really worthwhile. But I will keep looking and seeing, because flights for Andy and myself are expensive, because obviously we live in Portugal, and it's a pretty long way to you guys that live in America. But yeah, let me know, or even if you have ideas of me coming to the UK, I could do that, or anywhere else. I would love to do it. It's just getting enough sort of people like-minded people in the same place, unless you guys like to travel. I'd like to do one here, which is, is something I'm looking into as well, which would probably all be for next year, not this year, unless I have unless it sort of happens at the end of the year. You never know. You never know what's round the corner, guys, do you? At all. Right. Let's just do this one more, and then we'll make some tags, shall we? I'm quite happy just sitting here punching these out. having a chat. There we go. Let's get rid of all these little bits. It's quite nice to use up all the tiny little bits as well, isn't it? In here, look, you wouldn't even think I made a dent in this at all. So let's put these little bits back. And then I'm going to take a piece. I had this piece here, and this has already got a bend in it. And I'm just wondering, because these ones I put a little pocket in here, like that. Quite tight. Is that quite tight, that pocket? Oh no, it's not. So we've got a pocket in there, and as I was looking at that, doesn't that look like a little boat? Looks like a little boat. The roses here, looks like a little river or a little sea with a little sailboat on there. That's what I thought when I was looking at that. Anyway, what was I going? Pockets. So this one was already folded, and I'm going to cut that in half this way, just like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make that into like a little side pocket, so we can still have a tag, but instead of having a pocket on the front, this will be the sort of side pocket on the side. What do you think? Do you think that will work, won't it? And then we could put one of our little tabs on the top, like that. There we go. So you could round the corners on the bottom. I'm going to round the corners, just a little one like that. So that's got a little round. And then let's get some glue. Glue this little bit down. Like that. These are just going to plain. I'm not going to embellish any of these, just with a little tab. There we go. Let me just get my bone folder. Squash that down. There we go. And what shall we put on the top? Look, I've got a little one like that. They're quite nice colours, aren't they? That was super easy. It's quite nice because, you know, we like our little eclectic-y bits, don't we? So we can just mix and match all of them together. I left the lid off this all night. That was a bit naughty, wasn't it? And it's quite warm in here now. So that was a bit naughty. Right, if I put this on there, I know we're going to take up a little bit of that space on there. But that's a little tab. And then this, what we got with our little bird. See, little bird one fits in there. He's upside down, but our little pheasant. So that's how big that is. That's nice. I like that. So these can all just sort of like go into journals, into little pockets. A pocket in a pocket. We do like pockets. I like pockets. Okay, so we've got one like this. That needs to go. We'd have to, you could make two of these, couldn't we? You could make two pockets. Oh, I better fold it. I better fold it and be tidy today. Just trim that down. There we go. So I have two. Instead of folding that up, which I would normally do on those, let's have something on here. We want something with a white. Let's take some of these out. White background. That's not quite big enough, is it? That is. That's got a bend in it. We don't want a bend in it. That can go on there. That can be a little pocket, whichever way round we want it to be. I'm not worried if that's a little bit wonky. Oh, I might put just a little snip in there. our little pocket like that. Lovely. Pop that on. What should we have on the top? Should we have a bigger one? Like this. That would go on top. Whoopsie daisy. So look, I like these, and they're little. They're so simple, aren't they? Let's pop that there. Let's pop a little bit of glue on. Like that. Again, you can sew. You want to sew around them, but I'm not going to sew because we're just going to be sticking today. And no fuss. Bit of mass making. I don't do enough mass making. So I only think about it when I see all my scraps in there. I didn't ink around here, did I? What would the corners look like if I cut those the same? What do you think? Let's give it a go. Let's do a little... Oh, that was the wrong one. Oh, never mind. I'll do it on the other one. That's a different shape. That's quite nice, isn't it? I like that. There we go. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, I did have the idea of tidying my room popped into my head for a few minutes. And then I soon got rid of that one. Soon got rid of that idea. And started making. I did put a hole in one of these. I wasn't quite sure whether I really liked it. Did I put it on one of those? No, I didn't. I put a hole in one. I can't remember where it is now. I think I only did one. Oh, is that a bit wonky? It's a little bit wonky. So you could put a sort of hole in there and then put a little eyelet in there. But how lovely is that? Really nice and simple. Right, before I start, I'm going to... Oh my gosh. Put this one on the top, like that. And ink around. However much I use my scraps, they never seem to go down. They just sort of like, you know, multiply. I think it's probably because I cut them down and then put the other little bit back in. Right, what should we have on the top of this one? Should we have a little one? Should we have this one like that? I could almost do it so that fits in. I need a smaller one. I think I need... No, that's too small. Oh, that's the one with the hole in, look. That's the one I put the hole in. Like that. Then you could put like a little eyelet in there. Well, I'm going to stick that on and then put an eyelet in that one, I think. Let's find a little pocket bit. Let's find a little white bit. White background. Look at this. Look at all this. Let's go this way. What's that piece? Oh, let's have a nice bright one. Let's put that on there. Like that. There we go. Snip that out. Little bit of ink, and then we will pop that on top. Oh, what's that? Got paper on there. Take that off. That looks like green paper. A bit green on there. I don't know what that was. Oops. Oh, it's a little fly. Little dilly flies. We've had the big flies. I had one in here the other day. It was a great big, you know, the great big blue bottle flies. They're awful. They're so noisy as well. getting a lot of these little tiny little, like little hover flies that just sort of hover around. They're in our lounge, and they just sort of like in the middle of the lounge, and they're just hovering around in the middle of the room. Quite strange. So you have to sort of walk through them. They don't do anything, do you know what I mean? It's not as if, I'm not going to sort of get rid of them and kill them or anything, but they just sort of hover around. They don't really do a lot. Put that in there. There we go. Okay, we're just going to get my eyelets. I'm not really doing very well on the straightness of these, am I? But let me just get my eyelets. Okay, I'm just going to use these little brassy ones, the antique-y ones, I think, in here, if they'll fit through. Oopsie daisy. There we go, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Do you guys have the big crocodile, the big blue one, where you can go right in? Because I quite like one of those, and I'm just wondering whether I would use it enough. If you've got one, do you use it a lot? Or is it just something that you sort of like have, if you know what I mean? Because I would like one, but I'm not sure how much I would use it. That's a little bit close to the edge, because I can see that little metal bit on there. But that's okay. Okay, that looks good. That looks good, and then that can just sort of like, probably, I wonder if that would go on like a little ball pin. Would that go on a ball pin? It would, wouldn't it? That's quite nice. I'm going to keep that on there. I'm going to keep that on there like that. Right, what do we do? Let's have a look. Let's get some papers out. I have, oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. I think that's part of the same paper. Let's make some big tags. There we go. Put those little bits away. Let's make a nice big one. What should we have? This way. This way. This way, I think. And it's going to be upside down, but it doesn't matter. So that's the whole width of a digital paper. So let's just press that down, pop a little thing in there. So these are just bits that I must have just popped in there. Ink a little bit. Do we want to do the edges? Let's see if I've got a big one. Oh look, we've got a rose on this one. Should we put a nice big one on there? I like these big ones. I'm going to, before I ink, I think I just like using my punch. There we go. And now I've got a couple of those little plastic containers somewhere I did have to store some of these in. I'm not sure whether that's just going to be bigger. Well, let me just take a peek. Like this. This is what I got in. Where did I get those from? I can't remember now. So just a minute, I need to start making some little bits and popping them in here for when I make my journals. I can just reach for them. Put them in there. Oh, now I've got no room. Where can you go? Let's pop you over there. Okay, let's get organised. Let's just ink this one up. I really could do with some more counter space. I don't have enough counter space to put things out. And then I put them away. This is why I like the little clear tubs. So I put things away and then I forget about them. I'd like to have a nice big room with things everywhere so I could see exactly what I got. Try and get this one a little bit straighter. A bit closer down. There we go. Well, I'll tell you what would look nice on there actually. If you put 2 holes and then you popped a little bow. That would look really nice, wouldn't it? Shall we do that? I know I said I wasn't going to get my little embellish them out, but embellishing bits and pieces. But I think I might like to do that. Let's just see what's in this box. Let's just use what's in here. I've got the little orange. That's quite nice, isn't it? I could do with colouring some green. Just have a look. Got this one, but I don't think I've got enough in it. That's quite nice actually, isn't it? There we go. Oh, don't put that in there. That's what I'll do, I'll put that on there. I think we need some eyelets in it, don't we? I'm going to use this one to make the holes. What do you think? One there and one there. That's not bad. Put those in. Oopsie daisy. So what you got working on, guys? You working on a journal, or you just making little bits and pieces? I know lots of you don't like making journal covers, do you? You like to make, well, I don't know, some people like to make journal covers and some people like to make the bits that go into the journal. So which are you? Are you a journal cover maker? Lover of doing that and find it difficult to put what to put in it, or do you like making all your signatures and then not really like the other bits? There we go. I always tend to make my journals too fat and too much. I always try to leave the cover to the last. I never do, and then make it all big and fat. Okay, let's pull you down a little bit. And there we go. There we go. That's lovely, isn't it? Another one to go into our little box. I'm going to just move that container out of the way. Okay, that can go back in there. Let's do this one, shall we? That's completely wonky. Should we turn this one up like that? We could have 2 smaller ones, couldn't we? Like that. I think I'm going to get my paper cutter for this one. The little itty bitty one. I've done an order with Journals Say, so that should be coming soon. Which is, I do like their stuff. I'm going to have a smaller one. Oh no, maybe, yeah. I'm going to do this so we've got the pink bow. Have a smaller one and a larger one on these. Let's take a little snip. Yeah. So we're going to have a nice bundle of these now, which I kind of like. Which way do I prefer? That way or that way? Oh, that's nice because you've got the little bow there. Little thin one. Let's pop you up. I did think, guys, about getting another dog for Jessie, but I was very, very tempted, you know, and Andy quite likes the idea, but, you know, Jessie's quite old now, and then we'd have another dog when she passes away, which hopefully it's not going to be for a long time yet. But I don't want to be tied down. I'm really in a dilemma because I feel like Jessie would love to have a little other doggy to play with. But she's so good. She doesn't bark or anything. Well, she does bark, but when we're out, she's so good. You wouldn't even know she was there. And I'm just thinking, if I get another dog, it might be a real yappy one. Oh, I don't know. I think it's just a passing thought. You know, when you see sort of little dogs and little puppies, and I think it's the thought of would love a little dachshund, because we did the Friday freebie with it, and lots of you said that you've got one. Oh, just love them. But if I did get a dog, I would like one of those. But if I did get a dog, it would probably be a rescue one anyway, because there's so many that need homes. I don't think I could. If I went to a dog home or a dog kennel, I would probably come back with like 6 dogs, not just the one. Shall I do that on here again? I quite like that. So yes, I know it's one of those things that I would like. We've got George, we've got the 3 cats. George is indoor, and the other 2 are outdoor cats, but don't really want to be tied down. There's lots of pros and there's lots of cons on getting a dog, isn't it? Isn't there? Right, shall we have a little one for this one? Looks like it's got a little hat on. Shall we have one with writing on this one? That's nice. You wouldn't even know there was a pocket there, would you? It sort of all blends in lovely. Okay. So after this, I've got to go and water my garden, our little garden. I was going to do some coffee stain paper, but it's a bit windy and it ends up all over the place. And I'm just too lazy to sort of, and our garden is tiny, but to go around and pick it all up. So I will hopefully do that. Although it's not really that nice. It's a bit chilly. I like it to be, when I do it in the garden, I like it to be really hot out there. And then it takes like half an hour for it to dry. That's the best, because then it doesn't have time to blow everywhere. And I can get a lot of it done then. So yes, but no, I've got to go and water the garden because actually I've got to feed my tomato plants. They are getting nice and big. I've got some nice big beefsteak tomatoes on there. So that is be good. Right, that's it on those ones. They're lovely, aren't they? There we go. Super simple. Super simple. I'm going to have what we do. This is going to be a bit of a quick one today because it's quite late. So let's just make a couple more little tabs. Just fold these in half. I shouldn't really use the bigger pieces, should I? I should use the tiny bits that I've got in here. Like that. But yeah, this is quite nice to just do that. Easy peasy. We like easy peasy, don't we? Which way should I fold that? This way. A couple of little thin ones, because obviously they can go on the side of your pages as well. And they don't have to be the tab tops. I'm going to have a long one. Not too worried. The thing is, nice thing about this, if they don't line up like that, they still go onto your page, but you only see one side. You don't see that side, so it doesn't matter if they don't match up, because they're on different pages. Clip that down. There we go. Put that in, little diddy one. just wondering, I can't remember whether I ordered another punch off Journal Say. I think I ordered some circle punches, but I'm not sure about, oh look, that's got a little, about the other punches. That's got a tiny little pocket. Should we just do that one? We could just make that into a little tucky thing, couldn't we? Let's put a tiny, tiny little notch in there. There we go. Fabulous. Look at that. We shall stick that down. That was a ready to go one. This seems very runny. There's glue. Squeeze that together. And I think I'm going to round the tops on this one with the big one. There we go. Little round top. Oops. And then, oh, let's have a little rummage. We could have this one with little numbers on. Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Oh, that's the other one. I took little notches out, didn't I? Oh, that's quite like that. Oh, maybe I'll make some of those. That looks quite nice. There we go. Pop that in. Paper, punches and glue. Oh, and a little bit of ink. That's what you need for today. There we go. Lovely, that's nice. And then we've got like just a little tuck in there. That can just fold as a little tuck. That doesn't look very deep, but you know, it holds enough in there. So we've got lots of those. What was I going to do? I was going to use that other little punch. I think it was this one there. Let's just rip that, turn that over. I always forget about making sort of page tabs. It's one of those things that, you know, it's so simple. You guys have probably got boxes of them around, but I don't, and it's, you know, it's just one of those simple ways of using up your scraps, isn't it? Let's just get rid of these little bit. Easy. That's a double-sided piece. We won't use that. I just want to use the little ones. Let's just fold that over. Snip that down. It's one of those things that, you know, you could just carry on doing. I should stop because I don't really need any more. So I've got quite a bundle there. But it's quite addictive. Especially if you have, you know, set yourself a task of pulling out a bunch of your scrap papers and then just using them up. Do you know what I mean? Don't want to use the... There we go, we'll use that one. All of that's bent already. Let's take that piece off. Take a little snip out. There we go. Right guys, that's it. That's what we're going to be doing. I will probably do a few more, but I don't think you really need to see me cut out any more little bits and pieces. So we've made all of these little bits. Look at those, all different shapes and sizes, all your little scrap papers. And then I've made these lovely little pocket tags, which are just absolutely perfect to go into any journal. So, you know, you make them all sorts of sizes, which are lovely. Very, very simple to do. Very, very quick. And these are the two I did beforehand, but I think they are lovely. super fun. Okay guys, we do have a lovely rest of the day. Please take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Alright guys, bye bye.